Edward Norton was deeply affected by the experience of making American History X, partly due to the film's dark subject matter, and partly because the production was a very troubled one. Here's why the actor was never quite the same after making this film. In 1996, Norton's performance in Primal Fear established him as a formidable talent, but it was his starring role in 1998's American History X that truly showcased his talents. In the film, Norton plays Derek Vinyard, a neo-Nazi who abandons his ideology after spending some time in prison. He then tries to prevent his younger brother Danny, played by Edward Furlong, from following in his footsteps. As Norton told GQ in 2019,
"The film was, like, even the poster was iconic. It was a Shakespearean type of a story by design."
It's rare that an actor has to step in and edit the film they're starring in, but that's exactly what Edward Norton ended up doing. That's because the making of American History X proved to be almost as controversial as the film itself, and the film was plenty controversial.
Go on, man. Put it on the card right now!
In the middle of the editing process, director Tony Kaye had some serious creative differences with the production company New Line Cinema. Kaye had previously worked as an advertising director, and his experience in that industry reportedly affected his editing decisions. In fact, David McKenna, the film's screenwriter, told The Telegraph that Kaye literally destroyed the movie. It was a commercial. In the hopes of salvaging the film, Norton stepped in and began working with Kaye, but they were constantly at odds with one another. However, many of Norton's edits did wind up in the final cut of the film. It was a new experience for Norton, but the skill came in handy later. He ended up co-editing the 2005 neo-western Down in the Valley, a film he also starred in. After filming wrapped on American History X, director Tony Kaye was very bitter towards Edward Norton, and he wasn't shy about letting the media know his thoughts. The Telegraph quotes him saying that, "Norton is a narcissistic dilettante, obsessed with his image, obsessed with screen time. I was going to take Hollywood by storm, and I would have, but for that buffoon." Keep in mind, Kaye doesn't seem particularly modest himself.
I'm a storyteller, so making a television commercial is telling a story of sorts.
Thanks to all the drama behind the scenes during the filming of American History X, Norton earned a reputation for being difficult to work with, but the actor rejects that characterization. As he told The Telegraph, difficult is really a question of semantics. You can use that word, or you can say rigorous, committed. You can put it other ways. And I'll tell you a very true thing. None of what I would call the genuine talents I've worked with, directors, have ever called me difficult. In a 2014 interview with Dan Rather, Edward Norton confessed that making American History X was really hard. It was a guerrilla kind of experience. Norton put in some serious hours at the gym to convincingly play Derek. As Men's Workout reports, the actor gained 30 pounds of muscle in just 3 months. The magazine quotes Norton as saying, "I knew this guy was going to have to be really physically fearsome and defined by rage, arming himself against his own emotional pain, and this body he's created is the physical manifestation of that." After the film was released, people suddenly perceived Norton as bigger, stronger, and more intimidating. As he said on The Tim Ferriss Show in 2016,
"Doing that film created the strangest distortion of perception on me."
He went on to say, "It's unbelievable the degree to which that film and the magic of camera and art and black and white photography and all these things made a lot of people think that I was a larger and tougher person than I am." It sounds like Edward Norton has never been too concerned about box office returns. He'd much rather participate in films that make a real cultural impact. To hear him say it, American History X is a film that really managed to capture the zeitgeist, and he's proud to have been a part of it. In 2010, he told Slash Film, "A lot of films are more successful financially than Fight Club or American History X, but those films meant more to people and continue to. To me, if I can make a couple of films that, looking back, people say, yeah, that's what our generation felt like at that moment, that's a good document, then I'm content." In a 2016 interview with BET, Norton was asked whether he thinks the issue of racism has changed since making the film in 1998. He responded,
To a degree, we're not often comfortable acknowledging this current of racism sits under the surface.
He added that anxiety is often the cause of those feelings, saying people, quote, have anxieties and they look for a target. Derek goes through quite a dramatic personal transformation in American History X, and that journey is one of the things that really excited Edward Norton about the character. As he told Charlie Rose in 1998, he goes on to explain that it's not even so much just the one very extreme manifestation of this guy, but more the emotional distance that he travels. But Norton had to do more than convincingly portray Derek's hatred. He also had to create a nuanced character who could learn how to become a more open-minded person throughout the course of the film. Ultimately, Norton interpreted Derek Vinyard as a classically tragic figure.
Let's look at someone who ruins all of the potential in his life because of rage.
Norton also wanted audiences to see something of themselves in Vinyard, despite the extreme and extremely ugly nature of his character. In 1999, he told The Guardian, "An all-too common reaction to something like racism is to hate the act so much you dismiss the person. But in this film, you're forced to confront the complexity of the character and his tragedy." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.